Welcome to today's video, where we explore how artificial intelligence is beginning to reshape dentistry, not just clinically, but across the entire dental practice. I'm delighted to be joined by Dr. Ryan Hungate, Chief Clinical and Strategy Officer at Henry Schein One. Today, we'll be discussing how Henry Schein One's partnership with Amazon Web Services is accelerating the use of generative AI in dentistry, what it means to build an AI augmented practice management system, and how AI could transform workflows, patient engagement, and business decision making for dental practices worldwide. Dr. Hungate, thank you for joining us. The partnership between Henry Schein One and AWS Generative AI aims to unify traditionally siloed clinical and operational workflows. How close are we to a future where AI seamlessly connects every part of a dental practice, and what would that unlock for providers and patients?
That is a loaded question and a really exciting one. So we are very close. I would say by the end of 2026, you are going to see almost a completely, at least voice unified platform. So we've started with voice because we believe it's incredibly powerful. Let's be honest, nobody wants to really touch anything in an operatory, right? We've got gloves on and we're not really supposed to be doing that. Or, people always deglove one glove and they're touching things. But better yet, we look at this even not only from how you're navigating while you're using the software, but also just learning the software in general. Because most people know how to uh, talk to something, right? And if you can just use the generative AI behind the voice side of things and really say, okay, show me the bite wing of number 23, and it just pops up, or have it just ambient listen to your conversation and then pull from your templates and automatically help you with your note. And then down the line, even help you with claims and submitting the claims and everything else. This is why we started with voice, because we believe it's just so powerful in that portion. Now, you were asking, how far are we from it connecting everything else? We're really close. Um, we all had already started work on our eligibility platform, and we're a good way down the road on that piece. We're getting even more technology behind the reconciliation process. So a payment is made by the insurance company, comes back, and we can look at it. Was it made properly? Did they have the proper documentation? Then we can write that back to the ledger. Um, but now, because we're connecting things like the vision AI, so like detect AI that we have where we're looking at radiographs, the future that you're going to be able to enjoy in a Dentrix practice by halfway through the year is that you'll take a patient back for x-rays. And by the time you sit in the chair after you've scanned the patient, we will now have APIs where a lot of these AIs have the ability to write back to the chart. So they're going to be able to chart existing conditions. They are going to be able to then plan treatment based off of your personal preference. And you'll be able to say, well, I accept that or I don't accept that, and modify it. After that, it's going to pull in the proper amount of information from your insurance company to tell you how much that's going to cost. And then we're even doing direct integrations with payers where we will be able to do instant pre-adjudication so that you know for a fact that when you submit that claim, you're going to be able to actually know whether or not it's going to be approved. So this is where we're going to arrive really halfway through the year next year. And you're only going to see less and less work by the dental team over time. And I don't think this is a 3 year thing. I think this is a 1 to 2 year thing, which should be pretty exciting. And I think that there's getting ready to be a golden year of dental practices happen soon.
That sounds very exciting. The partnership focuses not just on automation, but on augmentation. How do you see AI shifting the role of dental professionals rather than replacing aspects of it?
Yeah. So I think we look at, you know, AI is going to, of course, take away some of the stuff that we didn't want to do anyway. Like nobody wakes up, stretches, and goes, "Man, can't wait to go call a bunch of eligibility, good for eligibilities on insurance companies." That stuff's just going to go to the wayside. Like that's gone, dead, right? Especially when it comes to the clinical side, all we're going to try to do is augment a doctor or a hygienist or an assistant, letting them be more human and really do what they love is the point of artificial intelligence, in my opinion. How do we augment them? A great example is notes, right? I know that sounds so simple, but right now we are seeing that the average practice that deploys ambient listening and note technology with artificial intelligence is either able to see two extra patients a day, or they can go home early. So it'll probably be a mixture of the two. I'm guessing on Wednesdays, of course, the doctor's probably going to maybe hit the golf course a little sooner, or maybe go coach that t-ball team that they never had the chance to do. But really, what you'll see is you'll either see more productivity out of the team, or what you'll see is uh, really a better work-life balance, which is really exciting. So I love coming at this from an augmentation side of things. Like our goal is to augment the existing people in the practice, make them, I always like to say bionic, right? So we believe that by partnering with AWS, who are world class, obviously, when it comes to artificial intelligence, and then obviously when it comes to their AWS storage facilities, we just looked at that and said, okay, not only are they world class when it comes to those pieces and really gives autonomy when we can choose kind of what models we want to use. But on top of that, they've really have a lot of learnings. A lot of people think it's like, oh no, it's the Amazon Alexa style microphones that are so good. It's actually not. I mean, their hardware is really good. It's more the software, believe it or not. Like dental practices are really noisy, and drills are not quiet, right? And I think everybody has that noise haunting their brain somewhere. So I think it's one of the things where we're very fortunate, because if you look at a lot of ambient listening technologies from back in the day, or that aren't based in AWS and what we're doing with them, they just aren't that good. So one of the other reasons that we partner with them was that their ambient listening technology is just weeds out all of that noise. We were on the greater New York floor, and I think the average decibels was like 96 decibels. It was loud. Just cut right through it, got all of that, and took notes perfectly. It's pretty cool.
I see. As AI becomes more involved in clinical documentation and patient engagement, how is Henry Schein One ensuring data security, compliance, and trust across different regulatory environments?
Great question. So we take security very seriously at Henry Schein One. I think, what was it? We have a data project right now where we have over a trillion rows now, I think, of eligibility data. I think we were approaching 2 trillion actually. So we have a lot of responsibility for a lot of patient lives out there, and how we store and really protect that data. So everything is obviously done in a HIPAA compliant manner. We're SOC 2 Type 2, approaching high trust right now. And really, anything we do, I would love to just be the startup guru that I was back in the day, but sadly, I cannot do that anymore. And sure, it slows stuff down, but really, at the end of the day, it's more about protecting the data and the lives of the patients out there, the data from the patient lives out there. So I think it's one of those pieces where um, we really have to have security first in mind. It's another reason why we partnered with AWS, because their security protocols are world class, if not best in class. And we're able to do that in a pretty easy manner, and really go above and beyond. So, especially when it comes to recording in the operatory ambient listening, we need to make patients comfortable with that. And, we even go into helping our doctors implement that technology, make sure that they are letting their patients know that they're comfortable with that. And I'm sure every so often they'll run into a patient that doesn't want that, and they'll just turn that off. It's not a big deal. But yeah, I think that everything else is pretty good to go there.
That's great to hear. What are the biggest barriers preventing dental clinics from adopting AI today, and how is Henry Schein One designing solutions to overcome these concerns?
Great question. Um, I think people are weary of AI. Not so much that they're scared of it. I think that practices want to adopt AI. They just aren't sure quite yet what it will accomplish, because traditionally AI has been through our Detect AI platform, which is, we used to say, oh, I'll help you find more caries, right? I'll help you find things that maybe you were missing. And if I walk up to a DSO and say that, they'll look at it as an aggregate in their doctor population and go, okay, I believe it. Maybe this doctor's only missing 1%, but this doctor might be missing 40%, right? And it kind of comes out in the wash. So that's one piece. And but here's the thing, DSOs have all adopted that technology and they're kind of flowing from that. When you walk up to a private practitioner and you say, "Hey, I think you're missing 30% of your diagnosis," they're gonna be like, "No, I'm not." And they're probably right. Um, when you walk up to that practitioner and you say instead, "Hey, it's not so much about finding carriers. It's about showing that it's red and big on the screen. And when I show a patient this smear of a ghost across the screen, I say, don't you see that cavity? And they go, yeah, they're lying, right? They don't really see that stuff. So where AI comes in there, it's less about me helping the doctor. It's more about creating transparency and trust with the patient, right? Making them accept things. And then so that's where we see ourselves as increasing adoption through making it easy to adopt in your day-to-day workflow. I always said the best product on earth is something that you didn't even know you were using, right? We put it in there and magically I either get paid faster, make more money, or my life feels easier. And you're just like, what the heck happened? It's magic. I always say auto magically is the way we want to do things. And this is where Henry Schein One is in a perfect position to do this. And that's what we're doing today. So we think that it's not so much about AI adoption. It's about us creating a product that's so easy to adopt that maybe somebody doesn't even know it's happening. They just notice all of a sudden their life is easier for some reason. They don't really know quite why. We'll, of course, raise our hand and let them know.
AI adoption accelerates. What will be the key skills or mindset shift required from dental practitioners to successfully embrace this new era of dentistry?
Yeah, I think we have to get really comfortable with the cloud. That's one piece. The second piece is we have to, I always say with AI, we're lucky in that we get to choose a seat right now, meaning that I always say there's three seats that we can choose with artificial intelligence. It's riding the train, driving the train, or getting hit by the train. And today we get to choose which seat we take. Soon, you won't get to choose anymore. You will have gotten hit by the train. And there's going to be practices out there that adopt artificial intelligence and become bionic and do things faster, better, stronger, and turn into this lean manufacturing facility, right? Meaning that they're able to provide treatments for their patients with maybe a much smaller overhead than the practice that doesn't adopt this. Well, that'll be slow at first, but then what will happen is either that doctor is just going to be happy and make more money, right? That's one thing, and they'll keep their prices the same. Or what they'll do is they'll eventually look around, and my guess is that DSOs will push this first. They'll look around and go, "What if I could outcompete that person down the street?" And then all of a sudden, they're going to notice that they're able to have just as nice a facility as everybody else, treat them just as nicely, and give them the massage chair, the paraffin wax dip, whatever it might be, and offer cheaper treatment for the same quality. And then all of a sudden, those doctors that aren't able to do that, they're going to go, "What the heck happened? What was that train I just got hit by?" So I think you get to choose right now on which one you want to be. My recommendation is just be AI curious. That's all it is. It's not like you have to adopt all of this technology over the night. You don't have to be cutting edge, but I don't think you have the option of putting your head in the sand. There are some technologies traditionally where you've had that opportunity. These upcoming techs don't have that ability. I say one of the good ones is like if you don't adopt ambient listening for note taking by the end of 2026, it's just because you really like taking notes. And I still don't know a single doctor that really enjoys that part of their day. In fact, some of them stay an hour late every single day just to take care of that information, right? I think that a lot of front desk teams are going to meet their first AI coworker next year, right? Whether they like it or not. And what's interesting is no matter whether they like it or not, that coworker is never going to call in sick. They're going to show up on time and they're going to work 24/7. Will they be able to do it as well as that front desk team member? Probably not, right? But they will work 24/7 and they'll start to learn very quickly. But what's nice is that front desk team is going to be able to teach that coworker, manage that coworker, and their job's going to transform. That's what's interesting. Like their job's really going to transform. They're going to find themselves less in the day-to-day nitty-gritty workflow and more becoming like a manager of the technology, and they're going to get more, right? That's going to be like this. There are a lot of people talk about AI creating this age of abundance. And I think that's what we're getting ready to create for a lot of the practices we serve out there.
Last but not least, do you have any final words you would like to share to our viewers watching this?
Well, get excited, right? I don't get excited much about, I always say we're not like making rockets that go to Mars, or self-driving cars, which are always fun. But this is actually really fun, right? It's really cool how we're able to automate these things within a practice. We're solving problems that have been around since the 80s that people said would never ever be solved. Like people would have said, you're never going to get great or really accurate eligibilities. You're never going to automatically reconcile payments on a ledger. It's just not possible. You're never going to provide accurate estimates to patients. You're never ever going to get paid same day for a treatment by an insurance company. Guess what? Next year, we're going to show you all of those things, right? And on top of that, you might never have to write a note again. I don't know about any other doctors out there, but we're kind of fulfilling the promise that dental school lied to us about. And look, I love my dental school, but when I was in dental school, they told us, no, no, if you're a really good practitioner, you do unbelievably beautiful work and you're super ethical and have a lot of integrity, and you just give that great experience to the patient, you will succeed. That is absolutely false, right? It's the practitioner that runs the best business, that advertises the most. They're the ones that are winning. Well, what if we take all of those things I just said and completely remove them from the picture? Now we get back to competing based off of how good of a clinical doctor you are. And that's really exciting because I think that's why we got into it. That, and I think most of us like to talk to our patients. So we can talk to our patients more and have more fun at our job and still make the same amount of money, if not more, and give unbelievable treatment. So that's what's getting ready to come and hit. And we should all be very excited.
Thank you for sharing your insights with us today. It's been fascinating to hear how Henry Schein One is using AI not only to streamline clinical and administrative workflows, but to fundamentally rethink how dental care is delivered and experienced. As dentistry continues to evolve, it's clear that technology, when guided by clinical expertise and human-centered design, has the potential to support better outcomes for both practitioners and patients. Thank you for joining us, and thank you to our viewers for watching. We look forward to continuing the conversation on how innovation is shaping the future of dentistry.